I have with me Ashita Prasad. She is a co-founder at API Dash.
I did my undergrad from IIT Kanpur, worked with firms like Flipkart, did my MBA. You are a GSOC scholar, you are done. So in a lot of colleges, if you have already cleared GSOC, you don't have to sit for the preliminary test.
So why do you think, like, in the world where Postman exists, why do people need API Dash?
So mobile dev, you might not see it as much as backend developer, but it's still very much there. Just doing courses is not something that is going to make you stand out today, especially in this crowded sector. I will say open source for techies is like a must in today's market to stand out. With Postman, the first concern is definitely your data privacy. Nothing like AI has actually come up. The last thing that came up closest was the internet.
A beautiful good evening, guys. How are you? I hope you all are good. We are here at Google Dev Fest in Ranchi. Today I have someone very special with me. I have with me Ashita Prasad. She is a co-founder at API Dash. Tell me, before we dig in, I would like you to tell our audience that who you are, what you are working on currently, and from there we can go on.
Sure. So let me tell you a little about myself. I did my undergrad from IIT Kanpur, worked with firms like Flipkart, did my MBA, did consulting with Accenture Strategy, and always had this entrepreneurial bug in me, and which is why it led me to take the entrepreneurial path as such. So I am the creator of fluttergems.dev, which is being used by 2 million Flutter developers across the globe. And when I was working on that, I realized developers use APIs a lot, and I feel API tooling is still broken in some sense, and there are not a lot of players in this market as well. So which is why I went ahead and started building API Dash. API Dash is a complete open source alternative to Postman, and we have more than 1.7k stars and more than 45 contributors to the project as of now.
So why do you think, like, in the world where Postman exists, why do people need API Dash?
So see, there are a lot of concerns. With Postman, the first concern is definitely your data privacy. You want everything to be at your local machine, especially in these days where data privacy concerns with the rise of AI has also increased exponentially. So this is why a local open source alternative makes sense for the users. And secondly, because Postman is also quite expensive. So that is the other reason as well.
So you're selling it as an alternative to Postman?
Yes.
Right. Got it. I heard you talk about mobile dev.
Yes.
I really wanted to know what's the current scene with mobile dev, because I've not seen much people going into that. Why so?
So mobile development is also increasing very exponentially. So you have your traditional native developers, your Android and iOS, and you have these cross-platform frameworks. You have React Native and Flutter. So because of the popularity of these cross-platform frameworks, you will see a lot of startups actually use these cross-platform frameworks for their MVPs, because it's easier. With just a simple single code base, you can ship across multiple platforms. But all your big tech companies are still in the native phase, because it just doesn't make sense for them right now to just change their entire code base. So mobile dev, you might not see it as much as backend developer, but it's still very much there. In the startup segment especially, you will find a lot of mobile developer jobs.
And what about the Android dev? Are they in demand?
Yeah, so for Android dev, the demand is not increasing exponentially as much as for cross-platform frameworks,
right,
primarily because all the new tech companies are moving into cross-platform.
Right.
Only your incumbents are on native.
I really wanted to know your insights on the recent layoffs these companies are doing, these massive tech giants. What's the scenario? Why these layoffs, and how are people coping?
Yeah, so primarily because of a lot of reasons. Your rate hike has happened, right? So simply put, the cost of capital has increased significantly, and now firms need to basically have more profit to be able to show that they are doing well. At the end of the day, now you are simply competing with a 7% risk-free rate of interest. You have to get that amount of money. So that is one of the major reasons. Like, there is a lot of bottom line pressure on companies, which is why they are simply reducing costs. And second thing, yes, we are at a stage where we are seeing a technological revolution basically.
Right.
Like if you see in the past 10 years, nothing like AI has actually come up. The last thing that came up closest was the internet. And AI definitely, unlike the internet, is being adapted, is basically moving at a very, very rapid pace.
Right.
So because of that also a lot of dislocation is happening, I feel. So I think these are the primary two reasons why a lot of layoffs are happening. But if you closely look, these big tech companies are also hiring again.
Exactly, yeah.
Which means you can see that dislocation is also happening very, very quickly. They are getting in new people with the talent that is in demand.
Right. So, is it fair to say that you have to get your hands dirty on projects?
Yes.
Learning is not the only solution to
Yes, so
getting a job.
Just doing courses is not something that is going to make you stand out today, especially in this crowded sector. It's become crowded. To be honest, every sector is crowded. And the second thing that I see is people who contribute to open source projects. So still in India, that penetration is not high. But if you go to US or Europe, you will see a lot of developers normally continuously contributing to open source projects. So when you do that, because at the end of the day, open source projects have the most industry adoption. So when you do that, you understand how the industry works as well, and that can be a very positive plus point on your resume, that you have contributed to an open source project that is being used somewhere. Because at the end of the day, the way you are going to work in a job where you will have a manager who is going to review your code, and you will have to, keep the demands of a lot of stakeholders. That is something you have to do when you actually contribute to an open source project. You will have to raise a PR, you will have to interact with the maintainers, with the entire community, and come to a consensus. So I feel open source is the most closest thing you can do to a real job. So when recruiters today see that you have contributed to open source, be it through programs like Google Summer of Code, Outreachy, or be it on your own, I think basically the rate of you getting hired increases substantially.
And talking about that resume building part, I
Yes.
really want to know your insights that what are these companies looking when they see a resume? Because I'll tell you, these placements over a few years have
Yes.
taken a total dip. Like colleges even like yours are, highlighting a
Yeah.
decrease in the placement.
Yeah, even in IT companies.
So what about this? Like, क्या करे एक लड़का या लड़की to cope up with such type of scenarios and still get placed in a better company?
Yeah, so again, now you have to understand the demand supply situation,
Right.
right? So the demand is definitely lower, and there's a lot of supply right now.
Right.
So what you can do is you have to now closely attack the demand part. You have to see what the recruiters need. So, and you have to stand out. You need to have that spike in your resume. So just doing a course, just adding a GitHub project on your own that you do, which is not being used anywhere, that is something that has become normal now. So it's
Right.
normalized. Everyone is going to do that.
Right.
So like we were discussing in the bell curve, you need to be on the right side.
Exactly.
You have to be above average. So that's where I think you can come up. So say if you're interested in ML, pick up all these ML open source projects that are there, say TensorFlow, etc. Go and try contribute to PyTorch, and all of a sudden you will have that spike in your resume. Because it's like saying that the company is going to use TensorFlow or PyTorch and you have contributed to the repository. So obviously you are going to have that edge over others.
Right.
And secondly, when you contribute to open source, you start understanding a lot of nuances as well.
Right.
If you only stay on the surface, that will become difficult. So I will say open source for techies is like a must in today's market to stand out. And even if you see for a lot of like these JD requirements, they say if you are a GSOC scholar, you are done. So in a lot of colleges, if you have already cleared GSOC, you don't have to sit for the preliminary test.
Right.
You are not required to know as much lead code if you are an open source specialist, if you have basically if you have contributed a lot to open source projects.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Ashita, for your insights. These were quick, crisp insights from Ashita, and hopefully this will make your life.
Thanks a
Thanks
lot.
for your time. Bye bye.